Hey guys, welcome. It is Thursday, June 19th, and I am here with a quick little Publix haul to share with you all. I stopped in there on my way home from work tonight because they have a few good BOGOs, especially if you have kitties, and a couple of other things I thought that you might want to know about if you live in a Publix area. Publix now has 8 stores. I'll put those up on the screen here for you. And if you live in a Publix area, you definitely want to go online and sign up for their Club Publix. That way you have an account. It's free. And you can click digital coupons, and they also occasionally send you free stuff. So just a little heads up there, if you have not been a Publix shopper but you have one more or less in your area, you'll definitely want to take advantage of that. And also I wanted to share with you all really quick, if you missed my last video, I am hoping to be moving this fall back to Kansas City, and I am commencing on a purging journey. So we'll go over just a few things that I've purged this past week. And I am starting a 3-day, I work from home on Fridays and then of course the weekend. So I am hoping to get a whole lot done, and I'll share some of that with you as well. Meanwhile, let's spin around and take a look at this Publix haul. So Publix had a few good things today that I needed, and a couple of things I wanted, and a couple of things that I guess you could call indulgences. But all of these were good deals with the exception of a couple of things, and let's take a look at this. If you're not familiar with Publix, it is pricier than most of the grocery stores in the area, so I only shop there for what is on BOGO or great coupon combined with Ibotta type deals. So that's what we'll be talking about here. If you're new to my channel, I'll put up on the screen the different deals in case you live in a Publix area. It just started today. It'll run through Wednesday next week. So let's take a look at this. First, let's start with something that if you've been following me, you almost never see me buy, right? Cereal. But this was such a great deal. And also these Nature Valley bars. I am well known for buying Atkins bars, but not only were these on a BOGO, there were coupons and a little Ibotta money with those. I made myself look at the ingredients first because that's what really matters, right? There are 15 carbs, but there are also 5 grams of fiber and 10 grams of protein. They have a few things in here that I'd probably be better off not eating, but overall, not bad. Now let's take a look at the Atkins bars and that nutrition label. And it is really interesting to compare these because there's actually a little more calories in the Atkins bars, but there's also 5 more grams of protein. The net carbs, really, it's very close. And now let's talk about what really matters if you're trying to stick to a grocery budget. There are 10 bars in here, and the Atkins bars, there are only 5 in a box for 10 bucks. These were 10 bucks, but on a BOGO, that made them $5 each. And then I also had dollar coupons and a 50-cent Ibotta rebate compared to the Atkins $2 a bar. And who doesn't like salted caramel? I saw a YouTuber showing she had bought these frosted lemon Cheerios and saying how much her whole family loves them. This is a new flavor, 'tis the season. I love anything lemon. So I just had to check these out. I would not have bought them if they hadn't been on a BOGO, plus coupon, plus Ibotta, because y'all know how I roll. That took it down to about $1.50 a box, $1.60. Doesn't get much better than that in today's world. A whole cup of these is only 140 calories. So I figure half a cup of these would be a pretty decent little snack. And if I eat it with some yogurt, that would actually be a good high protein snack that would have some fun flavor. These I will not be eating. I will be taking these to the office. The guys there all love anything peanut butter flavored, and I am sure those will be gone in 2 days. And at $1.60, I can be generous and share. And speaking of trying to lose weight, you guys, I have to share this idea with you. I love Amy Fritz's channel, and that girl has lost, I think it's 100 pounds over the past 2 years. She looks incredible. So she does a lot of what I eat in a day videos now. And her latest one, I'll put a link down below to that. She mentioned one thing she likes to do for a treat in the evenings and to help get all of her protein in for the day. She combines a vanilla protein shake with a diet root beer. And she says it tastes very close to a root beer float. I like my wine in the evening. Well, when you're trying to slim, you have to stay out of the wine or it's not going to come off nearly as fast. So I'm trying to abstain until I get a significant amount off. So I usually never drink soda, but I find when I'm trying to abstain from drinking alcohol and I'm trying not to eat anything in the evenings at all. I have been drinking a Diet Dr. Pepper maybe 3 nights a week. I think this is an even better idea because combining it with the protein shake, you know, trying not to eat in the evenings, I'm struggling to get all the protein in a day that I'd like to. And I'm going on about this way too long, but at the end of this video, we're going to try this. And I just might blend the vanilla shake with some ice before I add the soda to give it more of that ice creamy float authenticity. And then this coconut milk, I was completely out. And I have to tell on myself, you guys, I don't use coconut milk very often, but it's one of those things. I like to have a couple cans in the cupboard. Well, in my pantry, I had been smelling something that definitely smelled off. And I will give you guys a look-see. You know, it's not a huge pantry, but I have a lot of canned goods. And it was only this section. And when I opened the doors, I kept getting a whiff of something. And I couldn't quite tell, but it seemed like it was coming from that cupboard. Well, I finally got so irritated, I took everything out of there. And it was a can of coconut milk that had gone bad. And the rim was one of those ring pop tops. And it looked kind of, you know, like there was a little hole, like a pin size hole or two. And boy, it stank. So I was glad to get rid of it. That was my last can of coconut milk. And again, now that I'm slimming, I like to do things like, you know, make a diet instant pudding, you know, sugar-free pudding with some of this coconut milk, and do like little frozen bites in lieu of ice cream. You know, just little treats like that that are healthy. And then on to the cat deals. All the cat chow is on BOGO this week at Publix, ranging from, in my store anyway, around like $6.49 up to $7.49. This is about $1 more, so that was 7-ish. This was 6-ish. And there's also an I bought a deal. You get $1.25 off a bag. So call this $6.50, call that $7.50 for the sake of math. 14 bucks minus $5 takes it down to $9 for 4 bags of cat food. I consider that a really fantastic deal. And this happens to be my kitty's favorite cat food, or one of. And then this one I bought, again, this is one of the kitty's favorites. It was not on BOGO. Even though it's Purina, it wasn't included in the cat chow deal, just to make sure I'm clear on that. There is a $2 digital. They also had $2 coupons on coupons.com. Plus there was a $2 Ibotta rebate. That took it down to $5.87 before tax. And then these weren't on sale, you know, $3.99. And this catnip, I'm sure I paid too much for it, but $5.99 I think it was in this store. And we are out of catnip, and my kitties, all 3 of them, love it. And then This bread is on a BOGO. The bread isn't for me. The bread is for the birds. I like to take one slice every morning and smear it with a little peanut butter and fold it in half. And there's a cage on the side of their little bird feeder out there. And I stick that slice of bread in there and oh, they go crazy for it. So being on a BOGO, I think this was like $4.50. So $2.25 for a nice size loaf. And then my bestie is coming 4th of July. She'll be here 3-4 days. And she likes a good grilled cheese. And then last but not least, my favorite Arm & Hammer baby laundry soap. This is on BOGO today. It's the smaller bottles, 45 ounces. I wish they'd had 4 of these. I was really sad. I didn't think they had any, and I was going to just not buy any tonight. Maybe look tomorrow at another store. But I happened to push, I think it was some laundry packets aside, and these 3 were hiding back there. And then I got this one just to round out the BOGO. And I'll use this in things like towels that I bleach, so the scent doesn't really matter. So these were $7.19 a bottle. And on the BOGO, that came to $14 and let's call it 20 cents total for all 4. And then Ibotta, I'll show you here, has a bunch of Arm & Hammer deals this week. But I had been looking through and it kind of looked like all of the sizes were bigger than what was on the BOGO. But you know, I always go ahead and click all of those anyway, and if they don't attach, they don't attach. Well, I got lucky tonight and one $5 Ibotta deal attached. And they also have a digital coupon this week where if you spend $20, you get $5 off. And even though you don't pay for the BOGO, they count that towards the 20. And if you've been following me for quite a while, God bless you and thank you so much. And you may have seen like a year or 2 ago, one of my earlier Publix hauls, I kept getting fantastic deals on this Arm & Hammer, like to the point where it was like $1 a bottle. So I had really stocked up. Well, those deals haven't come along for a long time. So I was almost out. I think it was down to 2 jugs of it. And you know, 1 jug lasts me a month, maybe just a little longer. So now I'm resupplied for another 3 months. Happy about that. So let's just take a look at the receipt really quick. So you'll see as we go along here, all the little BOGOs coming off. That's what these minuses are. And then down here, to get to the fun part, these are my coupons, my digital coupons. I did not have any paper coupons. And I have to tell you guys a funny on myself. This is one of the deals I meant to get tonight was on Secret deodorant because I am almost out. Even in my backup supply, I've gone through everything. So it was perfect timing. I figured I manifested this deal. I'll show you in the store. If you bought 2 Secret deodorants, Publix has a sale where they're taking $3 off. It's not a coupon. It's just a sale deal. Well, there's also a dollar digital, and there's also a dollar Ibotta deal. And if you combined all those together, it was going to be, I believe, $8 off of the Secret deodorant. Well, I got to looking, got home, and realized I didn't put the deodorant in my cart. Wah, wah. Like, duh. Anyway, it would have come out to be basically buy one, get one free, even though it's not on BOGO, you know, after the coupons. So tomorrow I'm going to have to pop into Publix and get my deodorant deal. All right, so just to wrap things up, after tax, I spent a total of $74.27. The Ibotta deals were $13.50. The fetch was 50 cents. So those two came together, $14 in rebates that I got. And if you take that off the 74, I spent a net total of $60.27. But I saved $68.44. And in today's world, I'm going to call that winning. it's all stuff that, you know, I need, more or less. And I'm really happy with it. So if you live in a Publix area and any of these deals appeal to you, run out there and grab them, because sometimes those Ibotta deals expire. So you want to get those while you can.
Now I need to get these groceries put away and get to purging.
So, and I am on the purge list. Starting where I left off, the garage, I am working on getting rid of all of these rays I have. Well, I should say I'm going to allow myself to keep 4, because there are 4 seasons in Kansas and I have at least 10 or 12 rays. So there will be massive purging. Let's go out to the garage where my wreaths live on the wall out here. And I started before I realized I hadn't been filming, so forgive me, but I had them all lined up along there, bunches and bunches. And I know I want to keep this one and that one. Those 2 I need to take down. I've taken down a bunch already over there. This one I'm keeping. I'm calling this one Summer. And then I have taken down a bunch over here as well that are going to go. So that's just one category on the list. The next one will be purging this, what I consider utility shelf. I've got cleaning products, jib-jabbed all around, quasi tools and painting gear, car washing gear. You know how it is in a garage. These packing paper that I have been stockpiling in anticipation of moving. You know, all the stuff you get from Home Goods when they wrap up your glassware. So I think I've probably come close to piling up enough. And I certainly need to stop shopping, right? We're on the purge mode now. So I'm gonna take these last 2 down and then haul all of these into the house and throw them in the spare room where I'm piling things up for a garage sale. Another little area that will only take a couple minutes to purge, so I'm doing it right now. These gift bags I have piled up over the years from Dollar Tree, various occasions, along with wrapping paper. I am purging all of that. I might keep this for the garage sale simply because I haven't ever opened it. But all the rest of these have been opened, and I'm in between birthdays and holidays. I shouldn't have to gift anybody anything until Christmas. So this is all going. There, gone. It feels better just getting rid of all of it. And now I have more room for these spray paint cans that I've piled up and need to get rid of, but that can happen another day. All right, we're gonna give this hack for a root beer float a try here, you guys. I'm using Premier Protein, 30 grams there. I didn't get lunch today, and I'm purposely not having dinner because by the time I got off the phone with my Gabby and got through filming the grocery haul, 9 o'clock. I'm not about to try to eat dinner. I'm also trying not to eat in the evenings. I'm just gonna go with this, and hopefully I'll be down another pound in the morning. So let's give this a whirl. 160 calories, 3 net carbs. Wow, that looks like ice cream. And based on the thickness, I sure don't need any more ice. I'm gonna be doing good to get any root beer in there. Well, of course I had to try a bite of that vanilla shake and ice cream, but it's kind of blah, not enough flavor all by itself. I'm not even going to attempt to blend this because of the carbonation, but you guys, it really does look like a root beer float. Oh yeah, that's downright delicious when you're behaving. Highly recommend, you guys. I mean, it even looks like a root beer float. Yum. Thanks, Amy. So that's a wrap on today's video. Thank you all for stopping by and spending a little time with me. I really appreciate it, and I'll see y'all on the next one.